The lights go out. The crowd screaming. And in that split second of darkness, you know something's about to go sideways. Because when Seth Rollins shows up wearing a mask after months of silence, when Paul Heyman's voice cracks with fear, when Logan Paul realizes he just got played, that's when history doesn't just get made. That's when it gets rewritten in blood. What you're about to witness isn't just another wrestling breakdown. This is the story of a betrayal so deep, so personal, so absolutely vicious that it's got the entire WWE universe holding its breath. This is about the man who built an empire watching it crumble. This is about revenge served ice cold inside the unforgiving steel of the Elimination Chamber. And if you stick with me through every brutal second of this story, I promise you, the ending will leave you speechless. Chicago, February 28th. The Elimination Chamber looms like a cage of nightmares. 6 men locked inside that monstrous structure, all fighting for one shot at glory, one ticket to Wrestlemania. And among them, Logan Paul, the influencer turned wrestler. The social media mogul who's been running with the Vision, the most dangerous faction in WWE. Paul had already proven himself that night, taking out 3 competitors with the kind of precision that makes you forget he ever touched a camera. Javon Evans? Gone. LA Knight? Eliminated. Trick Williams? Sent packing. Logan Paul was on fire. You could feel it in the arena. That electricity. That tension building in your chest like a thunderstorm about to break. Because Logan wasn't just performing, he was dominating. Every move calculated. Every strike delivered with bad intentions. He moved through that chamber like he owned it, like the main event of WrestleMania already had his name etched in stone. And at ringside? Paul Heyman. The Oracle. The wise man. The strategic genius behind the Vision, watching his golden boy tear through the competition with that smug smile spreading across his face. But you know what they say about the best laid plans, right? They crumble when ghosts come back to haunt you. The chaos is reaching its peak. Bodies everywhere. The chamber floor littered with the broken dreams of eliminated superstars. Logan Paul catching his breath, thinking he's got this. Thinking he's one elimination away from cementing his legacy. And then, the confusion starts. A hooded figure appears. The crowd erupts because they think they know who it is. They're chanting. They're on their feet. Is it him? Could it be? The hood comes down. It's not Seth Rollins. Just some wild-eyed decoy. A red herring. Chicago groans in disappointment. Officials are distracted. Security scrambling. And in that beautiful, chaotic moment when everyone's looking the wrong way, when authority has completely broken down, another masked figure slips into the chamber like a shadow. Logan Paul turns around. And immediately, he knows he just made the worst mistake of his life. The figure moves with purpose. Clean. Violent. Efficient. Before Logan can even process what's happening, before his brain can catch up to the danger, the masked man rebounds off the ropes and plants him with a thunderous curb stomp. And I'm not talking about just any stomp. This is the kind that echoes through your soul. The kind that rewrites storylines. The kind that says everything you thought you knew? Forget it. Chicago is buzzing. The entire arena feels like it's about to explode. The figure exits the ring, taking his time, savoring every second. And then comes the moment that will be replayed a million times. Slowly. Dramatically. Like a villain revealing himself in the final act of a movie you can't look away from. The balaclava comes off. Freaking. Rollins. The arena detonates. I'm talking seismic levels of noise. The roof nearly comes off the United Center. Michael Cole is screaming at commentary, the man who gave birth to the Vision. The man who was excommunicated from the Vision. The man who has payback on the Vision. And every single word is dripping with the weight of months of storytelling crashing down in one perfect moment. At ringside, Paul Heyman's face says everything. The color drains. His eyes go wide. He looks like he just saw a ghost. No, worse than a ghost. He's seeing the man he betrayed. The man he helped kick to the curb. The man who created the Vision and got thrown out like yesterday's garbage. Heyman is screaming, but you can barely hear him over the roar of the crowd. Because Seth Rollins doesn't need to say a word. His message is crystal clear. The Vision thought they could erase me. They were wrong. And if you're sitting there thinking, wow, that's already insane, hold on to your seat because this was just the beginning of Seth Rollins' revenge tour. Seth Rollins walks out of that chamber, not healed, not forgiven, but reborn. He's back from a legitimate shoulder injury that kept him out since October. 4 months of silence. 4 months of recovery. 4 months of planning. 4 months of his anger simmering, building, turning into something dark and focused. The Vision thought they'd moved on. Logan Paul thought he was safe. Paul Heyman thought the past was buried. They were all catastrophically wrong. Let me take you back for a second, because understanding what just happened means understanding the history. Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman joining forces was supposed to be the ultimate alliance. The architect meets the wise man, strategy meets brutality. They formed the Vision, brought in powerhouses like Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, and Rollins rode that wave all the way to championship gold. He won Money in the Bank. He cashed in. He became World Heavyweight Champion. Everything was clicking. But then Seth got hurt. And when a wolf in the pack shows weakness, the others turn. Braun Breaker betrayed him. Paul Heyman, the man who stood by Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, turned his back on Seth. Bronson Reed joined the coup. They kicked Rollins out of his own faction, the group he built. And then, they added Logan Paul and Austin Theory. The Vision continued without him, like Seth Rollins never existed. That kind of betrayal? It doesn't heal. It festers. It waits. And now it's erupted. But the Elimination Chamber was just Act 1. Because 3 days later, Monday Night Raw opens, and Paul Heyman is standing in that ring with Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Heyman's doing what he does best, running his mouth. He's got the microphone and he's furious. The crowd starts humming Seth's theme and Heyman loses it. He's screaming that he can't stand that song. He's claiming Seth takes credit for everything, for creating the Vision, even for forming the Shield years ago. Classic Heyman rewriting history. Then Heyman drops the line that seals his fate. Seth Rollins stole the Elimination Chamber. He stole the WrestleMania main event from Logan Paul. Logan's nodding, feeding off Heyman's words. Austin Theory chimes in, saying after what happened to Logan in the chamber, he can no longer stand with Seth. Heyman continues, his voice dripping with venom. The next time Seth Rollins steps into a WWE ring, we will stomp him out. That is not a prediction. Not a spoiler. It is a personal guarantee. The words are still hanging in the air when masked men start appearing in the crowd. One. Then another. Security chases one. Logan Paul sprints after another. Austin Theory follows a third. It's chaos. Complete mayhem. And in that chaos, Paul Heyman is left standing alone in the ring. He sees a masked man in the aisle. Turns around. There's another one on the ring apron. This one's holding a steel chair. And Heyman knows. You can see it in his eyes. He knows what's coming. The mask comes off. Seth Rollins is staring at him with murder in his eyes. Crack. The chair smashes across Heyman's back. Heyman crumbles. And before he can even think about crawling away, Rollins positions himself, rebounds, and delivers the blackout stomp. The same move he used on Logan Paul, now driven into the skull of the man who orchestrated his downfall. Heyman hits the mat hard. Blood starts pouring from his nose. Officials swarm the ring, but it's too late. The damage is done. Seth Rollins backs away through the crowd, his face showing no remorse, no hesitation. Just cold satisfaction. Paul Heyman is loaded onto a stretcher, into an ambulance, and in a twist that's pure wrestling gold, the ambulance driver removes his disguise. It's LA Knight. The man the Vision brutally attacked months ago, putting him on the shelf. Even in his moment of revenge, Seth Rollins has allies. The Vision is learning they created a lot of enemies. I need you to really understand something here. This isn't just about a faction war. This isn't just storyline drama. This is about a man who gave everything to build something, only to watch the people he trusted rip it away from him. Seth Rollins didn't just lose a stable. He lost his championship. He lost months of his career to injury. He lost his identity. And now he's taking it all back, piece by piece, body by body. Think about Logan Paul in that chamber. Minutes earlier, he's on top of the world. He's eliminated 3 men. He's thinking WrestleMania. He's thinking main event. And in one curb stomp, it all evaporates. That's the thing about Seth Rollins, when he strikes, it's surgical. It's personal. And it leaves zero room for recovery. And Paul Heyman? The mastermind behind so many legendary moments in WWE history. The advocate. The oracle. The man who always has a plan. He got caught completely off guard, left defenseless, and paid for his betrayal in blood. That image of Heyman bleeding from the nose, being carted out on a stretcher? That's going to haunt the Vision for weeks. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, the 2 powerhouses who originally turned on Seth, they're both out with injuries. So the Vision right now? It's down to Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and a hospitalized Paul Heyman. The muscle is gone. The leadership is broken. And Seth Rollins is circling like a shark that's tasted blood. Before we go any further, I need to take a second to say something from the heart. If you're still with me right now, if this story is hitting you the way it's hitting me, then you're exactly the kind of fan SLAMZONE is built for. We're not just recapping matches here. We're diving into the emotion, the psychology, the storytelling that makes wrestling the most incredible form of entertainment on the planet. And I need you with me every single week. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now. Join the SLAMZONE family. We're breaking down the biggest moments, the most shocking twists, the matches that'll have you jumping out of your seat. And if this video is giving you chills, if you're as hyped as I am, smash that like button. Drop a comment telling me what you think happens next. Does Seth Rollins take out Logan Paul at WrestleMania? Does Brock Lesnar show up to defend Paul Heyman? I want to hear your predictions. And hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment. Because in this business, everything can change in a heartbeat. Now back to the carnage. The WWE Universe is losing it over this storyline. Social media is exploding. Stephen A. Smith. Yes, that's Stephen A. Smith. Went on First Take and jokingly said he's considering banning Seth Rollins from the show after what he did to Paul Heyman. Even mainstream media is picking this up because the brutality, the storytelling, the sheer audacity of Seth Rollins coming back like this? It's unmissable. Let's talk about what this means moving forward. WrestleMania 42 is on the horizon, the biggest show of the year. And Seth Rollins has just inserted himself into the main conversation in the most violent way possible. Originally, the plan was Seth versus Braun Breaker. But with Breaker injured, with Bronson Reed also sidelined, the landscape has shifted. All eyes are now on Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. And think about what a match that would be. Logan Paul, for all the criticism he gets, has proven he can go in that ring. He's athletic, he's creative, and he's got the star power to make it feel massive. But Seth Rollins? He's on another level. He's a former WWE champion, a Grand Slam winner, a man whose main event WrestleMania's before. When these two lock up, it's not just going to be a match. It's going to be a war. Because Logan represents everything Seth lost when the Vision betrayed him. Taking Logan out wouldn't just be a victory. It would be therapy. But there's another possibility swirling. Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar are basically brothers in WWE lore. If Heyman's attack doesn't go unanswered, if Lesnar decides he needs to step in and defend his wise man, then we're talking about Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And oh my god, the history between those two. The classic matches. The chemistry. That would be a dream scenario for any fan who remembers their battles from years past. Either way, Seth Rollins has positioned himself as the center of attention heading into the grandest stage of them all. He didn't need to cut a long promo. He didn't need to beg for a match. He just showed up, destroyed his enemies, and left everyone wondering what comes next. That's the mark of a true superstar. That's someone who understands the business at its core. And let's not forget about LA Knight in all of this. The man driving that ambulance with Paul Heyman in the back? That's cold. LA Knight has his own score to settle with the Vision after they put him on the shelf with a brutal backstage assault. So now you've got Seth Rollins and LA Knight both gunning for revenge. The Vision is surrounded, outnumbered, and running out of time. Austin Theory is trying to hold it together, but let's be honest, Theory's in way over his head. He's talented, no doubt, but he's suddenly become the de facto leader of a crumbling faction. Logan Paul is reeling from the chamber elimination. Heyman's hospitalized. Breaker and Reed are out. Theory's got a target on his back and nowhere to hide. The beauty of this storyline is how it's layered. It's not just good guys versus bad guys. Seth Rollins isn't a pure hero here. He's a man consumed by revenge, willing to brutalize anyone in his path. But you understand it. You feel it. Because the Vision didn't just betray him, they humiliated him. They took his creation and twisted it into something unrecognizable. So when Seth swings that chair into Heyman's back, when he stomps Logan Paul into oblivion, there's this cathartic release. Justice, even if it's delivered through violence. That's the genius of professional wrestling storytelling at its finest. It makes you care. It makes you invest emotionally. You're not just watching athletes perform choreographed moves. You're watching characters with motivations, histories, relationships, all colliding in this beautiful chaos that feels real even when you know it's scripted. And the crowd reactions? Absolutely electric. Chicago singing Seth's theme as Heyman bleeds on the mat. The "You Deserve It" chants echoing through the arena. The United Center exploding when Seth ripped off that mask at the Elimination Chamber. These moments don't happen in a vacuum. They happen because WWE has done the work to make us care about these people, these stories, these rivalries. Now imagine being in that arena. Imagine the anticipation as those masked figures appear. The confusion when the first one isn't Seth. The explosion of sound when he finally reveals himself. Imagine the visceral thrill of seeing Paul Heyman get exactly what he had coming. Wrestling fans are the most passionate audience in the world because we're not passive viewers. We're participants in the story. We chant. We react. We make signs. We create a living, breathing atmosphere that feeds the performers and makes every moment bigger. That's why I do what I do on this channel. Because breaking down these moments, analyzing the psychology, reliving the shock and awe, it keeps that magic alive even after the show's over. It lets us process the emotions, debate the what-ifs, and build excitement for what's coming next. So where does this all lead? What's the endgame for Seth Rollins and the Vision? Here's what I think. Seth isn't going to stop until every single member of the Vision has paid their price. Logan Paul at WrestleMania? That's step one. But theory's still out there. And when Breakker and Reed eventually return from injury, you better believe Seth Rollins is going to be waiting for them with that same cold fury. This is a long game. This is a storyline that could carry through multiple pay-per-views, multiple months of television. Because the foundation is strong. The betrayal was real. The stakes are personal. And the audience is hooked. Plus, you've got the wild card of Paul Heyman. Is he going to pull strings from his hospital bed? Is he going to recruit new muscle to protect what's left of the Vision? Or is he going to call in favors from his past, maybe a certain beast incarnate, to handle Seth Rollins once and for all? The possibilities are endless and every single one is exciting. But here's the thing that gets me most hyped about all of this. Seth Rollins returned from injury and immediately made himself the story. Not through politics. Not through backstage maneuvering. But through pure, undeniable impact. He reminded everyone why he's one of the best in-ring performers of this generation. Why his storytelling is second to none. Why when he has a purpose, when he's motivated, there's nobody better. This is where legends are made, folks. This is where careers get defined. Because years from now, when we look back at Seth Rollins' legacy, this moment, this return, is going to be one of the highlights. The masked reveal at Elimination Chamber will be in video packages forever. The chair shot to Heyman will be replayed on every retrospective. These are the moments that transcend the weekly grind and become part of wrestling history. And if you're not watching this story unfold in real time, if you're not locked in every single week to see what Seth does next, what the Vision tries to pull, how this war escalates, you're missing out on something special. Because this is peak professional wrestling. This is the drama, the athleticism, the emotion, all wrapped into one explosive package. Before we get to the conclusion, I want to ask you one more time, are you subscribed? Because SLAMZONE is your home for this kind of deep dive analysis. We don't just skim the surface. We dig into the why. We explore the emotions. We celebrate the artistry of storytelling in sports entertainment. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Be part of this community. Share this video with your wrestling friends. Let's grow this family together and make sure nobody misses these incredible moments. Alright, let's bring this home. Seth Rollins stood in that Elimination Chamber, mask in hand, and sent a message that echoed through the entire WWE. The Vision made a mistake. They created a monster when they betrayed him. And now that monster is back, focused, relentless, and out for blood. Logan Paul got stomped. Paul Heyman got stomped. And anyone else standing in Seth's path? They're next. This isn't just about winning matches anymore. This is about vindication. This is about a man reclaiming his legacy, his dignity, and his rightful place at the top of the card. The Vision thought they could erase him. Instead, they created the greatest threat they've ever faced. Because a man with nothing to lose and everything to prove? That's the most dangerous man in professional wrestling. As we head toward WrestleMania, as the tension builds, as alliances shift and new challenges emerge, one thing is absolutely certain. Seth Rollins isn't finished. Not even close. He's just getting started. And the WWE Universe? We're all strapped in for the ride of our lives. What a moment. What a story. What a comeback. Thank you so much for joining me on SLAMZONE for this breakdown. If you made it this far, you're a true fan and I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to like this video, drop a comment with your thoughts on what happens next, share it with your crew, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell so you never miss another upload. We've got so much more coming your way, more breakdowns, more reactions, more SLAMZONE magic. Until next time, keep the passion alive, keep supporting the art of wrestling, and remember, this is where the real fans come to celebrate the stories that make us lose our minds. Stay locked in, stay hyped, and I'll see you in the next one.